Hello guys, and welcome to another Blender tutorial. So today I have a little bit of a modeling exercise tutorial that I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you how to make lever tufting in Blender. You can see this is an example I whipped up earlier, and this is the one we'll be doing today. It's pretty much the same thing. I'm also going to be showing you how to share the object data between these buttons. So if we want to make a change on one, it'll kind of update on the rest of these here. So pretty straightforward tutorial, nothing too complicated, very beginner friendly, and it isn't complicated at all. So let's get right into it. Okay, so when you scene open up in Blender, we're going to go ahead, hit Shift A, and we're going to go to our mesh options, add in a plane. With the plane selected, we're going to tab into edit mode, or we can come up here manually and just go into edit mode. And with everything selected, I'm in edge select mode by the way, but I have everything selected here. I'm going to right click on my mouse and hit subdivide. You're going to see this box appear. If it's not, just open it up. And it's going to ask you for a number of cuts. So we're going to come in here and type in 23. And once we've typed in 23, we can just click on here to bring it down. And we have it subdivided to 23 times. So just double tap A to deselect everything. Go to your top orthographic view by hitting 7 on your number pad. And what we're going to do now with our edge select enabled here, so the edge select here, we're going to go Shift and Alt, and we're going to click on this loop here, or this edge here, and then Shift Alt click on the one here in the middle. Now you can quite obviously see here by looking at the axis lines here, so you can see the red one here, it lines up, and this one lines up with the green one. So those ones are pretty easy. But what we want to do now is we want to come out, and you can follow the grid spacing here. We're going to come to the middle here, so Shift Alt holding those in, we're going to click on here, and it's going to select this loop as well. And then we're going to get the one in the middle here as well. So the one in the middle, Shift Alt is going to be this one here. So you can just kind of count the spaces in between. And then we're going to do the same this way on the Y. So it's going to be this one here. Shift Alt still holding it in, we're going to click and select this one here. So now we have, so if you go G, Z, and you move this up and down, you can see we have all of these guys here selected. So with them still selected, just click on the vertex select option. So we have the vertices selected. And what we're going to do to make things easier later on, just click on your object data properties. With these vertices selected, click on the vertex group plus here and then go assign. So even if we do deselect these now, if you click on the group here and we go select, we always have these in the future. It's just going to make things a lot easier for us. So let's go ahead and enable proportional editing with these guys selected. And then we're going to go G, Z, and we're going to bring it down. Now, there's too much fall off here, so what we're going to do is roll our middle mouse button, and that's going to increase or decrease. So we want to roll it in to make it smaller. So we're going to roll it about this much, and then bring these guys down like that. And then we're going to go G again, Z, and roll it even smaller, and then bring it down even a little bit more. So we're just creating something like this. And then what we're going to do, if these still selected, is we're going to go Control B or Command B, and we're going to roll in a bevel over here. Now if you roll your middle mouse button, you can see we're adding in more cuts. If you roll it back, you can see we're adding in less. So we just want to roll in one cut. So roll your middle mouse button once, just till we have something that looks like that. And then what we're going to do is we're going to go Control minus or Command minus. That's going to shrink the selection. And then we're going to go G, Z, and just bring this up a little bit, but roll the proportional fall off really small. In fact, you can even turn it off. So we're just going to bring it up like that. So if you tab out of edit mode, this is what you should see. Okay, so we still have those selected. Don't worry about it for now. Go to your modifier tab, click on add modifier, and give this guy a subdivision surface modifier. And now if we tab out of edit mode, we can see it's looking really nice and smooth. We're also going to go to object and enable shade smooth. So now we have the beginning here. But what we're also going to do is go back to edit mode, and then we're going to go Shift Alt. We're going to click on this edge here, this edge here. We're just selecting all the vertices on the outside like this. And with proportional editing enabled, we're going to go we're going to go S, Z, and scale these guys down on the Z. But we're also going to roll our middle mouse wheel to increase the proportional fall off a little bit as we're flattening those out. Just like that, and then we're going to go G, Z, and bring them down a little bit. So just kind of flattening those edges. Disable proportional editing, and then what we're going to do is we're going to go E to extrude, Z, and we're going to bring this down like this. And then what we're going to do is we're going to go E to extrude again, and then S to scale. I'm going to scale it in just a little bit. And then we're going to go E, Z, and extrude this one down just a little bit, and then E, Z, and extrude it down even more to about here. And with this edge still selected, we're going to go S, Z, and 0 and hit enter. So now we've flattened that perfectly. We're then going to come in here, go Control R to add in a loop, and then we're going to go Alt S, and we're going to scale that out along its normal with Alt S. So just bulge it out like that. So here you can see we have our tufting, lever tufting cushion starting to take shape with very minimal effort here. So back into edit mode, just Shift Alt click on this bottom loop of vertices, go E to extrude, S to scale, just a little bit, and then E to extrude, S to scale even more. And if you're not going to see the bottom, you don't even have to fill that in. If you do want to, you can just go Control F and then go grid fill. But I'm not going to do that for this one. So I'm just going to leave it as it is. So that's pretty much most of it done, but I'm going to show you how we can add some buttons. So let's go to our top orthographic view, and then we're going to go Shift A. We're going to add in a circle. Let's come to add circle here and just make it 8 on the vertices. And close this down. Then we're going to tab into edit mode, and with these vertices selected, we're going to go E to extrude, S to scale. Click on this loop of vertices here with Shift Alt, then go G, Z, and bring this up like that. Then we're going to go E to extrude, Z, bring it up. And then we're going to S to scale it a little bit, and then we're going to hit F just to fill that in. And then we're going to go E, S, and scale that in like that. And here we have a basic button. Tab out of edit mode, and let's give this guy a subdivision surface modifier. Go to object and enable shade smooth. Now we're going to go S to scale this down. We're going to scale it down quite a bit, something like that. Go back to your top view and then go G and just move it over here. So it's in the middle here, and then go G, Z, bring it down. So it's just going to be sitting in between one of these here. You can also bump up the viewport display for the subdivision surface modifier. And in case we want to edit this button, I'm going to show you a nifty little trick. So instead of going Shift D to duplicate this, we're going to go Alt D. So go Alt D and then just go Y and move it along the Y to here. And then once you've done it, if you go Shift R, it'll repeat that action. And then we're going to hold in Shift and select all 3 of these. Then we're going to go Alt D and then X and move it along to here. Left click, and then we're going to go Shift R, and it's going to repeat that action. Now, what is the difference between Alt D and Shift D? It's quite simple. We've created, it's sharing its object data properties. So let me give you an example here. So instead of just going Shift D, if we go Alt D, if I select this original one here, and I select a vertex, and I go G and I move it, tab out of edit mode, all of a sudden all of those have the same thing happening to them because they're sharing that data. So that's what happens when you use Alt D. So that's really nice. You can grab any one of these and make an edit, and it'll update in all the rest of them. And I like doing this instead of an array because it's quite easy to do. And when I come in here later, for example, I grab this cushion here, enable proportional editing, I might want to grab some of these things here and just move them out a little bit, just to kind of create a bit more of an organic shape like this, just like a cushion would look like. And then I can come in here and kind of just move these buttons a little bit, change the scale a little bit, the rotation a little bit, just making things look not so perfect and uniform. It's just a little bit more lived in like that. So that's how I make these. And another cool little thing I'm going to show you, if you select the cushion and go to edit mode, you remember earlier we created that vertex group. So if you hit select, it still has all of those selected. So let's just select it, go Control minus just to shrink the selection. And what you can do is go to your front orthographic view, go into wireframe, then hit C and hold in your middle mouse button and just go over here and deselect these guys here at the bottom like that. Don't need them. So now we only have these top ones selected. If you go Alt and S, sorry, disable proportional editing, then go Alt and S, you can still come in here and edit these seams over here if you want to tighten things up a little bit. So I'm just going to go sharpen them up a little bit, just like that. So you still have that control there. So this is how you make a really simple lever tufting kind of cushion. And it's been pretty simple. yeah, so that's it. I will be making some more content this week, so make sure to keep an eye on my channel, and thank you for all the support.